Hey, what's going on, Fragrance family? This is Tyler, Simply Fragrances, and today we're going over my 2023 wish list. So if you want to see what fragrances I want to get in my collection, be sure to keep it right here. Alright guys, welcome back. Like I said, my name is Tyler. This is my channel, Simply Fragrances. Today we're going to discuss my wish list for 2023. I do have, a little bit, but nothing crazy, There's a lot of stuff that I've learned over 2022, and I want to carry that over into this season, or this year. So really excited about that. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. You are now part of the Fragrance family. Go ahead, hit the red subscribe button. Really would appreciate that. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by again. So, like I said, guys, got a little bit of fragrances to get through, so let's go ahead and dive into the first one. Guys, before we get into the first fragrance, I do want to apologize. I do have a bit of a cold. I don't know really what's going on. I don't know if it's sinus infection or, what it might be. So I do apologize for the nasally congestion, but I've been staying at home for the past couple days, and I'm just tired of just laying around doing nothing. I wanted to put out some content. I'm going to be pushing some more content, this year more regular. So I was like, you know what? Whether I'm sick or whether I'm well, I'm going to be trying to do some more videos. So do apologize for that. But first fragrance on the list, guys, these are no particular order. These are just, fragrances that I'm really wanting to get for one reason or another. So the first one on the list, guys, comes from the house of Xerjoff, and this is going to be Xerjoff Naxos. And as you can see, I'm going to leave a picture up there for you guys, for those of you, who may never have heard of it or have seen the bottle. So beautiful presentation, first of all. Like Xerjoff, they do presentations so well. But this smell is absolutely amazing, guys. Now, it does get compared often to Terry Mugler's Pure Havane, and I can attest to that. I do have a bottle, but I do believe that the Naxos, it's just elevated. It's smoother, it's deeper, it's richer. There's just a little bit more going on for it. It's not quite just, a tobacco fragrance. There's, there's different nuances to it. There's some citruses in the top that kind of come out, play off your skin. It just develops so much deeper and more rich than Terry Mugler's Pure Havane, at least off of my skin. Now, I do have Terry Mugler Pure Havane, but it's been discontinued and the bottles are getting super crazy. And so, I was like, this is not discontinued, so why not reach for this? I've went through, I believe 3 5 ml samples that I've had over the past couple years. So I know that I like it. I know that, I'll wear it. So honestly, this one, it had to be on the list. All right, guys, so moving forward with the list, I do actually think I have a little bit more niche than designer. I did spend 2022 primarily picking up a lot of designers that I didn't have. So there's some niches that definitely want to get. And this house, this is no stranger to my channel. Absolutely love this house. It's kind of a given. Anything that he's going to put out, I'm more than likely going to get. So we all know that Leather Tabac is on the way, and it does come out February 1st. There is no pre-order, so it's just going to launch, but you can get samples if you wish. I'm going to go ahead and get a bottle of it. Very, very excited for that. So the next on the list, obviously, is going to be Leather Tabac. Now, I can't talk too much about it because I've never smelled it. So, but what I have heard through, Ross on his lives and him talking about it, it's going to rival Rosé, which is insane to say because Rosé is probably my favorite in the line. Absolutely love Rosé. Those fragrances are just one of a kind. They're just masterfully made. Like his house is absolutely fantastic. So Leather Tabac is supposed to be quite the powerhouse. Really excited for that. And honestly, anything he puts out, I do think that there's another release going to come out sometime in the spring or summertime as well. So once that releases, definitely going to be getting on that too, but don't want to say too much about that. But Leather Tabac definitely had to make this list. So moving forward with the list, the next one actually comes from one of our own, Mr. Mr. Smelly 77. That's right, Dan in his house, not in Wilson. He just released his new fragrance, Sheep Ride, and so really excited to get my hands, or I guess I should say my nose, on that. Haven't smelled it, but I've heard nothing but great things about it, so definitely something that I want to move forward with in 2023. I do have his two previous fragrances, as you can see right there, Gravitas being one of my all-time favorite fragrances ever. And I don't say that lightly, it is legitimately one of my favorite fragrances ever made. Love that stuff. So very excited to see what Sheeper can do. Like I said, heard nothing but great things about it. Haven't smelt it, so I can't give too many, thoughts on it other than I really want it. So let's go ahead and get into the next fragrance. All right, guys, so moving into the next fragrance on the list, huge shout out to my boy Chris from the Fragtastic Mr. Fox. He sent me a little sample of this, and this also comes from the house of Xerjoff. And as you can see from the picture, guys, this is Xerjoff's Tony Iommi Monkey Special. Guys, the name might sound a little funny, but this stuff is awesome, absolutely phenomenal. Perfuming done to the finest. Absolutely elegant. Love it, guys. It's got a little bit of everything. You open up, you got this kind of green, little bit of an earthy tone right in the first opening. At least that's my experience with the fragrance. And then you get into this passion fruit in the opening. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. Don't think of passion fruit and think of it's gonna smell feminine. No, it's very, in my opinion, very unisex, leaning towards the masculine side, but that's just my experience. But then you get cinnamon and you get leather in here. There's a little bit of everything in here, and it's done so well. There is a bit of a rose note in here that some people get, some people don't. I personally do off of my skin. Chris, he says it's kind of just a little hint off of his skin. So we all do get different things, especially when you get into more natural oils like you get from Xerjoff. It's going to react to different body chemistries in different ways. So anyways, but this stuff is very strong, long lasting, and it's expensive, but definitely worth it in my opinion. I've already almost went through the sample that I have. It's that good, guys, I'm telling you. So obviously Tony Iommi's Monkey Special from Xerjoff had to make this list. All right, guys, and the last niche on the list, like I said, I don't have too many, but I do have a little bit. But the last one that I definitely want to get in 2023, I've went through the sample that I've had and absolutely adored this fragrance, guys. Coming from the house of Beach Giza, this is Coco Moon. Shout out to Justin from Stay Fresh Productions for putting me onto it, and probably realistically, at least most of us. I think he was one of the first ones, if not the first one, to really talk about it. And I gotta say, guys, it is absolutely phenomenal. Went through the 5 ml decant that I had this spring and past summer. It was a dream, guys. Absolutely lovely. So if you guys like a coconut based fragrance, you should like this. Now, don't think of a super sweet or kind of suntan lotion coconut vibe. There is that there, but it's more than that. There's a depth, there's a richness to this. It's got some legs behind it. It's not going to be necessarily a room filler. You do have a nice little scent trail, scent bubble around you, but it is going to sit just a bit closer to the skin, but it's going to last you all day long. I'm kidding you not, guys. I got at least 10 to 12 hours depending on how many sprays that I would do from the little decant, guys. This stuff is phenomenal. Cannot wait to get this in my collection. It just brings just a tropical vibe with a little bit of a darker edge to it. Super smooth, super great. Doesn't really lean masculine or feminine. It really does ride that unisex line very well. So guys, Coco Moon had to be on this list. Alright, guys, so moving from the niche going into designer, and like I said, there's going to be stuff I pick up along the way, but these are just the ones that are really on my list right now. Stuff that I've worn, except for a couple, obviously, but stuff that I've worn, experienced, and I know that I'm going to wear. I've went through decants, and they seem to work really well for me. So anyways, moving forward into the designer, not too many, but the first one on the list in the designer realm, guys, absolutely love this stuff. Again, shout out to my boy Chris for sending me this. He sent me the whole Dior Homme line, the Parfum, the OG, the Intense. Guys, they're all phenomenal. I love them all, but the one that really stood out for me and that I really have to get for myself is the Intense. It's just a bit creamier, it's a bit lighter. It doesn't quite have as much of that real kind of dry, waxy lipstick vibe as the Parfum. The Parfum's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but it's so hard to track down and get. I absolutely love that stuff, guys. So I will be tracking down a bottle of Dior Homme Intense. Guys, so moving forward with the list, shout out to Ross from TLTG Reviews. He's the one that inspired me to give this one another shot. Now, it's no secret here, I've not really been the biggest Dior Sauvage lover. It's just not something I've ever really gravitated towards, especially the EDT. What? It just doesn't work for me. I don't like it. I feel comfortable and confident saying that I don't like Dior Sauvage EDT. That's just me. It kind of has this weird baby wipe kind of smell off of my skin. It's very bizarre, and a couple other people I've talked to have said the same thing, so at least I'm not the only one. But the EDP, it's okay, but the one that he was really raving about last summer was Dior Sauvage Parfum, and I went to Sephora, sprayed it on. I was like, okay, I can see this. Yeah, I can see why this is nice. Wore it out, got a couple compliments, and I was like, I think it's good enough. I'll go retry it again sometime. I think later that week or maybe the next week, went back, tried it again, same experience. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And I think either the third or fourth time I went back, resprayed it, wore it for a whole day. I was like, okay, this is actually really good. This is something that I would like to get in my collection because it's different enough from everything else that I could really say, yeah, I could go ahead and I could get this. It's got a bit more of a bright citrus opening, not quite as ambroxan heavy, and I think that with the EDT, it just smells like a mess. Honestly, it's trying to be a little citrusy, it's peppery, it's woody, it's ambroxan. It takes a while to find itself, if I'm being honest, at least off of my skin. But the Parfum, it comes out very smooth, very citrusy, very bright, and then it transitions into that woody kind of dry down that has that Sauvage DNA that we've all come to know and most of us love. So, but Dior Sauvage Parfum, definitely it's gonna have to be in my collection. Right, guys, so we're down to the last fragrance on the list. Like I said, not a super crazy amount of stuff. I mean, there's stuff obviously that I'm thinking about and it'd be nice to have, but there's just so much that I have. As you can see, these walls behind me, each row goes about 4 rows back, so I've got well over 200, probably almost 300. I'm closer to 300 fragrances, and there's just so much that, yes, they smell good, but in order to make it into my collection, other than for reviewing, I've got stuff coming for review. I want them to be pretty special. I want them to really resonate with me because I got a whole stuff on the bottom shelf here that I bought for review, and after I reviewed it, yeah, they smell good. I just don't really wear them, so moving forward in the next year, I want to be a little bit more selective. So the last fragrance on my list, it is kind of a cliche fragrance because, it is kind of a basic fragrance, but I really did enjoy it, and I enjoy it for a different season than probably most people. So what fragrance am I talking about, guys? Coming from the house of YSL, this is YSL Le Parfum. Absolutely love this fragrance, guys. Opens up, it's got that bright citrus in the opening. I believe it's orange blossom, if I'm not mistaken. I do get more of an orange kind of zestiness from it, but then it's got this kind of woody, almost blue style, vibe to it. And the EDT and the EDP, they've been kind of labeled, as a blue fragrance, but this one even more so. I feel it does have a bit more spicy, woody attributes to it, but it does have the citruses up top, and I love wearing this in the fall and in the winter. It cuts through the colder air, it sticks around, and it just smells fantastic. It really does do good on my skin. My wife really enjoys it. I really enjoy it. For a designer, yeah, it's a little expensive, but hey, so is Dior Sauvage Parfum, but I think that they are worth it. And in the winter time, I find myself wearing the decant. I've went through the 5 ml decant that I have. It's a great fragrance, and I really do want to get it in my collection. So that is definitely going to be something that I want to get in 2023. So that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, there's going to be tons of fragrances that I get. There is actually this whole shelf right here, other than the Absolute. I did not have a single one of these up until last year. So, it just, stuff happens. You get stuff as you go. You just, you got to roll with it. So anyways, enough rambling, guys. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and comment down below what you thought of my list. Would some of these make it on your list of things to pick up in 2023? If not, let me know down below. What's your most anticipated fragrance? Which one are you wanting to get the most? And so I'm going to catch you in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. And remember, if you love it, wear it.